Hey everybody, it's one Monday, so I wanted to do my weekly vlog, which I'm trying to do every week. Overall, the week went pretty well. I've had my ups and downs, but who doesn't? I'm going to focus right now on eating in the middle of the night and making sure I get my water in and trying to totally get rid of soda altogether. I also want to touch on motivation. I have a lot of people ask about how do I stay motivated, and for me, I have my before pictures in many places. First of all, I have them on my computer all the time, but I have them on my wall in my living room. It's a big collage. It's a poster board. It's pink and blue, obviously, my two favorite colors. And it's got my before pictures, and it's got my goals for that year. And if there's a time you don't want to work out or you don't want to physically do the hour-and-a-half workout, you just want to do a half hour and be done with it, I can look at where I was and know that I don't want to be there. I've done a lot of reflecting. The other thing is some of my sayings. Some of my sayings that I put up are really, really good. You can want anything in the world, but if you're not willing to do the work, you ain't going to get it. Weight loss is the hardest thing you will ever do besides quitting smoking. And you need to physically watch what you eat. You can't live without food. You have to move your body. And you have to stick to it. It can't be something you do for a week, do for 2 weeks, do for 6 weeks, and then have 3 bad weeks because you're going to go backwards. I also want people to stop physically saying, but I have, or I've only lost. You know what? Weight loss is really, really, really hard. How many times do I need to say it? It's really hard. If you've lost 5 pounds, Weight Watchers celebrates every 5 pounds. And you know what? You never think a stupid little star is going to make you smile or is something that important. But you know what? You wait for each. I waited for each one of those stars, and I was so proud to have my little bookmark that I could physically put them on. And I have pictures on my web for my bookmark. You need to celebrate, and celebrate with something, not food. One of the girls said that they were tennis shoes. She'd hit something and she was getting tennis shoes. And that's a great goal, especially when you're working out a lot. You have to replace your shoes. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. And remember, we all have setbacks. But if you physically are making a mistake, you need to look at what that mistake is, learn from it, and then it was a mistake worth making. And I love that Bob said that last week on The Biggest Loser, because I've always, my thing is I always say, okay, learn from your mistakes. What did you learn from that experience? Don't make that same mistake again, and go from there. So this week I want you guys to remember that if you want it, you have to really want it. And I like to say you have to hit rock bottom, or it's not going to happen. You have to hit rock bottom, and you have to physically have that goal focused, and you have to go straight to it. You can't think of anything else. And I remember in the beginning of this journey, when I started, and I finally kicked my butt after that first. I did great for 10 weeks. I had 6 weeks where I didn't do so great, and I bounced between 4 pounds, and then I physically kicked my butt, and I walked every day. I was spot on with my food. That goal of 265 was there in my back of my head, and that was all I had to do. All I thought about it was getting to 265 as fast as I could. And granted, by the end of the journey, I did make it on. I made it a month later, but that was because of an injury. I broke a bone chip off of my tibia, and I was down for a week. No matter what you do, the bone chip wasn't big enough for them to go into a remove, which was good because you're down for 6. But basically, if you have a bone chip, you have to let it die. So you have all those nerves and that chip floating around. It was painful. It was really painful. But it was, it was what it was. I went to the doctor. We changed the goal to 285. And it was all mental. But I don't regret it. Since I've changed my goal. I've changed a couple more times. I'm going back to the doctors this week. I'm getting my goal changed back to where it was in the beginning. So I can go pay my $13 for my meeting, and I can honestly be under goal again. And then I can start going to my meetings every week, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to try and do the Points Plus again, get into the program, get my e-tools back, track on e-tools, get back into my blog on Weight Watchers, and that's my goal for the next week. But I have to see the doctor to do it. And I really don't care what they say. My original goal was 285, which is what they took. Granted, right now my goal is 250, and I'm 264. No matter what I've done, I haven't stayed there. And I don't know why my body wants to be somewhere between 260 and 265. It drives me crazy. But it is what it is. And I'm where I was at goal before. I'm actually smaller because most of my, I did try on a couple pairs of jeans that didn't fit so well. But most of my clothes still fit, and, you know, I haven't bought anything new. So you got to just keep going with the flow and see what happens. So with that, know that I love that you guys follow me. I love that you watch them. And know that I just want to help you guys and be supportive of you. You know that I'm there. Email me, right on my wall. I haven't had people call me, which is just as cool. It's funner when you know that they're going to do it than all of a sudden a surprise, but I've had that too. So, thank you, and I'll talk to you next week. Next Monday, we'll see what I do this week.